Hi, my name is Taylor Washburn and I'm here to inform you about what alpha-hydroxyisocaproic acid is, so you can not only get a better understanding of why people take it, but make an educated decision based off of the research for yourself and when dealing with a future client. First, we need to understand what is alpha-hydroxyisocaproic acid. Most people will hear it in the shorter version of its name pronounced alpha-HICA as well as leuceic acid. Alpha-HICA is a metabolite or end product formed when the amino acid leucine is completely broken down in human tissues such as muscle and connective tissue. The Journal of Applied Physiology states that alpha-HICA can specifically be found in cheese, soy sauce, and wine through natural production by means of fermentation. Also, the USDA states that the parent of HICA, amino acid leucine, can be found in several types of protein, including whey, isolate, milk, muscle, soy, and wheat. Peak Performance magazine suggests that alpha-HICA is not only a muscle builder and maintainer of muscle mass, but claims that it may be even more successful than either the leucine or other metabolites of leucine such as HBM or KIC. Other research focuses on HICA being more efficient because of their findings that it exerts anti-catabolic effects at higher concentrations. A well-known company called Labrada Nutrition explains alpha-HICA as an mTOR signal transducer. mTOR is an anabolic pathway in muscle cells that protein synthesis occurs in when activated. Due to the presence of alpha-HICA, it is believed that nuclear factor kappa B becomes activated and caspase 8 is inhibited, which prevents muscle protein breakdown. Labrada also discusses alpha-HICA's presence to cause both absorption of hydrogen ions and neutralization of waste products. In turn, this directly relates to reduction of lactate in the muscles, which helps lengthen the amount of time one can participate in high-intensity exercise like longer sprints or higher rep sets. Research by Marrow and his associates found that dosages of 500 milligrams given 3 times a day were successful at developing lean body mass. Every supplement company found selling alpha-HICA had the same recommendation, and most made some kind of note that they got their recommendation suggestion from the study done by Marrow. Labrada recommends that because HICA is short-lived in the body, it would be best to take your dose 20 minutes prior to a workout. There were no other suggestions found regarding dosage or the limit of how much alpha-HICA a person can consume. Labrada stated that alpha-HICA may activate a growth factor called IGF-1, which could affect your body's growth hormone output with age-related decreases. The study by Marrow found a 23% decrease in DOMS at the end of their study. The study noted that symptoms of DOMS are usually associated with eccentric exercise, suggesting that it may contribute more to sports like soccer and others with unaccustomed movements and motions where eccentric muscle functions occur. The study also found training alertness to somewhat improve based on the participants' subjective statements. Finally, Labrada addresses the possibility that keto and hydroxyl metabolites such as alpha-HICA could help supplement kidney failure patients who are deficient in protein due to their condition. He discussed a study that found kidney failure patients' lean mass retention and nitrogen balances to improve upon supplementation, but there was no citation of the study found. During the study by Lang and Associates, it was found that an enzyme used clinically to determine liver disease and bone disorders called alkaline phosphatase was elevated by 20% in rats treated with alpha-HICA. Mayer et al. Did not discuss any negative side effects. Labrada claimed there were no negative side effects, and no other supplement companies were found that have reported the possibility of negative side effects. Peak Performance discussed recommendations and stated that it was too early to recommend alpha-HICA supplementation without further studies. The NCAA does not specifically discuss recommendations for alpha-HICA, but does state that amino acids, such as HICA's parent leucine, are not banned from the organization. They do, however, note that all supplementation should be used with an optimized diet and come with a risk of potential contamination of illegal substances, and thus should be used with caution. There were only 2 scientific studies published regarding the use of alpha-HICA. Marrow and his associates performed the first one on 15 humans over the course of 4 weeks and found a small increase of 400 grams of lean body mass as a result. Marrow states that due to the type of training they were doing, like resistance and aerobic endurance, catabolic processes were very prominent, which helped support their claims of HICA. No changes were found in anaerobic running capacity, bone mineral density, fat mass, or physical power output performance during the 4-week period. It was suggested this is due to not having a long enough time period to get strong training responses. The second study was done over a 28-day duration that used 3 groups of rats. One was controlled, one was given only leucine, and the other was given only alpha-HICA. The study found that with the use of alpha-HICA, there was an increase of protein synthesis rates. It was also found that alpha-HICA seemed to have greater effect than leucine, that alpha-HICA did not slow the loss of muscle mass after disuse, and it was suggested that there was a potential fat loss benefit due to supplementation because results showed that the plasma-free fatty acid concentration was reduced by 35% in the alpha-HICA rats. So in conclusion, the 2 studies did support an increase in lean body mass upon the supplementation of alpha-HICA. But because these were the only 2 scientific studies, we have a huge lack of hard evidence to prove the efficacy of alpha-HICA. I do think it's also important to note that the human study was done in a short 4-week duration of only 15 people with a lot of subjective information regarding how they felt with the benefits of their DOMs and increased training alertness. And then also the 2 studies did report slightly contradictory information regarding fat loss. Essentially, there is a lot more research that is needed to support the use of HICA, and I think we should be aware of that before we make decisions of taking it for ourselves or when talking about it with clients. So thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless.